And for all our prayers, we are always feeding back into Mother Earth with spiritual offerings through ourselves and all of the elders as well.
Yes. And I'm so curious because there is like a yearning for elder wisdom. In many ways, we're an elderless society. I would just speak in North America and the United States, there's like this sentiment of our elders are not really integrated into society in the way that feels in reciprocity. And so what have you learned, through over the last decade, what have you learned from these elders in terms of reciprocity, or maybe even some things that you weren't expecting?
Yes, echoing what you said, this is one of the saddest things from modern societies, not everywhere around the world. Here in Mexico, people really have a very close relationship with their parents, go to the mother's house for food. I mean, my husband's mother is always here, she's always telling me where things should be in my home. It's just amazing, we love her so much. And so what I learned in terms of reciprocity from Indigenous cultures, well, starting with that, right? The elders are living libraries of wisdom because they have the life experience, right? And so us younger people, or when we're really young, that we think we know way more than our parents do, my raving times. It's like this is how I'm raising my kids, right? Respect the elders. When the elders are speaking, wait, pay attention. Don't be interrupting them because they have something good to show you. They have something good to tell you. And they don't need to repeat the mistakes that they already made so that you could learn. And Indigenous wisdom starts with honoring our ancestors because that's where we come from. The lineage, everything they lived, we are continuing. So we are an answer to their prayers. Way back then, this is how they used to do things. It's how Indigenous people still do things. We always think of our future generations. We always pray for them. And we always make the path for them to walk. Right? And we've been in many cultures totally disconnected from that. And sometimes our elders need help, our ancestors. And whenever we do this work, as you know, we heal ourselves, we heal our ancestors too. Many times, people are born with so much anger and they don't know why they're so angry. So, they call upon their ancestors and they find out, okay, this anger is from my great-great-grandfather. I need to heal that. I need to be the one. So that reciprocity through the ancestors, making offerings for them, listening to them, lighting candles for them, and then calling upon their help, guidance, so that our lives can be fuller. If we are separated from our ancestors, we lose that sense of belonging as well. And then reciprocity towards the spiritual world, the most beautiful thing I've experienced around that was when I started to learn from the Wirrarika people, is the path that my husband was on when I married him. And he asked me to do that with him because I was on a different path. And so I opened several commitments within this tradition. And our elder, we used to go on pilgrimage with him. He now passed. We're going with a different community. But before anyone can eat, right, you do ceremony all night without medicine, just praying for your journey to Virikuta, to the desert, to all the sacred places where we go to visit the ancestors. So we don't eat all night, we just pray. And from that moment, you cannot drink water or eat anything. So you travel all day by car, 12 hours, without eating or drinking, on no sleep. The driver can drink coffee. So you go to the sacred water source, right? Tate Matineira is the first one, shaped as a deer. There, they present the children, the ones going for the first time, goes with their eyes covered, and they're presented to this water. And first, they have to do the prayers, make the offerings, give water to all of the ancestors, 20 different names. Only then can we drink. Then we drink water, bathe. From this moment, we can drink water. And then we travel another half a day to get to the desert. And then first we need to put the fire on, confess all of our sins or the things we did wrong in our life, take responsibility for our mistakes, basically. Also confess all the people we've ever slept with, and they make a list and speak it out loud and put it in the fire. to cut that connection.
And just to be clear, this is a sacred oath, almost like a wedding ceremony for your husband and yourself. Is that accurate?
So the sacred oath was to be what they call a maracame in their culture, is one that can dream, heal, and sing. So it's to basically learn to heal, to sing, to have vision, to just be in service and be a voice for Mother Earth and for spirit, to be an assistant to spirits to come and heal the people. No, to be able to be like a spiritual lawyer between the physical and the spiritual. And then we also then had a ceremony there for our relationship that was tying up of our spirits.
Okay. So you're confessing to the fire, everyone you've ever laid with. Mm-hmm. And then what happens?
And then after you do all of that, then you cut the food. But before you can eat, there's like 40 people there, right? And the ones that are not Wirrárica have to learn all of these names in Wirrárica. And first you need to offer water to all of these spirits and ancestors and sacred places in the fire. After you do that, you need to offer food to all of them. And at this point, you're like starving. Everyone is super hungry, but you cannot eat until you do all of that. And then you've done all of that. You put food in your plate. You still can't eat it. Then you need to go person by person and exchange food with them. So they take something from your plate and put something back. So you go to the pilgrimage, you get like, you can't eat anything with salt. So you get all these beautiful fruits and a lot of avocado, but you end with only bananas in your plate because everyone took all the best stuff and they left only with bananas. It's like that. It's that to me, before, and they do that in their daily life. Before they eat, they always feed the fire first to ask for the blessing, the protection. And these people, they save money all year long to go to Virikuta and ask for the continuation of life. Even the ones that don't want to be a maracame, even the ones that are just praying for their lives, they have this little bowl, hikara, and they bead every single one of their family members in it, and even their animals. And so some of these people are carrying these hikaras for generations. Their great-great-grandparents used to take the same object to the sacred places and ask for blessings from their families. So they take the spiritual paint from the sacred place and paint the hikara, put all the offerings inside, and that ensures that the blessings, the protection will then reach all of their families, their animals. So it's really a culture of offerings, and it's so beautiful. And like that, so many other cultures that join the gathering also have their ways of worship and their ways of reciprocity, but they're all paying back.